его абсолютно не знали, он врал вам во всем. Ну это шок.
Snejana Onopka, the supermodel the world admired. But what nobody tells you is what happened off the runway. Today I'm revealing secrets from Ukraine you won't find in English anywhere. A life of fortune, drama, and hidden struggle. There's an interview with models talking about what they eat at home before runway shows. Chanel Iman says she eats soups and healthy foods every day. Vlada Roslyakova says that in hotels before shows, she eats eggs and pancakes. But then Snejana says she doesn't eat anything at all, and apparently her stomach is still functioning.
Вы знаете, в принципе, ничего. Желудок работает пока.
For now, her figure is what's causing a real sensation among Gen Z today, and it's becoming a trend for them. Honestly, I don't know if I like this trend or not, but as long as you don't hurt your body, you can do whatever you want. But don't destroy yourself, please. But let's talk about the path Snejana took in her youth. By the age of 19, she was able to buy an apartment in Manhattan and become the face of almost all the top brands of that era. Snejana Onopka was born in 1987 in Sievierodonetsk. When she was 6 years old, her parents divorced. Her father was a rock musician, and she speaks about him very reluctantly.
Папа гулял. Деньги на свадьбу были подарены мамиными родственниками. Давайте с этого начнем.
And after he left the family for another woman, he took almost all their property with him, leaving only a few chairs and a sofa. At that time, Snejana became seriously ill due to stress and could barely get out of bed. Despite everything, later in life she paid for his medical treatment.
Бежала и стала кричать. Для меня это осталось в памяти на всю жизнь. У меня зрение упало на 50%.
Snejana's modeling career began when she was 14 years old. At that time, she appeared in a campaign for the brand Shiseido. She recalls working for almost a month without a single day off, from 6 in the morning until late at night. But because of some misunderstanding and a scandal, she was never paid. After that, she decided to quit modeling altogether. And it's quite sad that in many interviews she emphasizes that she never wanted to be a model. It was something constantly offered to her, pushed onto her. Eventually, a minor agreed, but not right away. When she was 17, she began a relationship with a man named Vyacheslav. At first, he wasn't very wealthy, but over time, his finances grew rapidly. He gave her a BMW X5 as a gift. She came to show this gift to Voropaev, and at that moment, a representative from the agency DNA was with him, the same agency that once discovered talents like Natalia Vodianova, Linda Evangelista, and Karolina Kurkova. They began persuading her to go to New York for test shoots and possibly stay there to sign a contract. She constantly refused. Eventually, representatives of the agency came in person and offered her this opportunity directly.
Нет, мне не интересно. Сколько лет меня уговаривали, да? После Японии я говорила, ну.
They had seen her Polaroid photos among other models and chose her specifically. In the end, they convinced her to go to the United States. Her boyfriend, Vyacheslav, paid for the trip and her stay in New York. As Snejana herself notes, she did not live in the shared model apartments where many models lived together. She stayed there for 2 months, attending castings and photo shoots.
Когда в модельных apartments, это было не для меня. Он говорит, ну слушай, я тебя люблю.
The breakthrough for Snejana came through her meeting with photographer Steven Meisel and an exclusive shoot for Dolce & Gabbana, followed by the cover of Italian Vogue. From that moment on, her career truly blossomed. She opened and closed the most famous runway shows for the biggest brands, and the whole world began talking about her. Within just a few months, she celebrated her coming of age as a millionaire. Her largest contract was with Shiseido, the same brand she had previously had conflicts with. 3 years later, she purchased an apartment in Manhattan. She also bought apartments in Kiev for her mother, grandmother, and aunt, and of course one for herself as well. After some time of such intense work, Snejana began having problems in her relationship with Vyacheslav, as it was a long-distance relationship. He moved to Moscow because of certain issues, while she was constantly flying between New York, Ukraine, Los Angeles, and all over the world. They saw each other only once every couple of months. Their relationship ended in 2009. As Snejana says, she partly blames herself because she wasn't able to be there. Later, Snejana began a relationship with Onishenko, an odious former politician from the Party of Regions. He is also a former boxer, a sports promoter, a film figure, and the organizer of numerous underground competitions and beauty contests such as Miss Ukraine. In Ukraine, he is accused of high treason, organizing a criminal group, and corruption. He fled to Europe and is currently hiding from Ukrainian law enforcement. Today, he lives in Germany, where he has purchased property and obtained residency. Onishenko gifted Snejana a Bentley Supersport, at that time the only one of its kind in Ukraine. Everything seemed to be heading toward marriage. But, as Snejana says, a Donetsk businessman named Mykola Shchur appeared on the horizon. Even during Snejana's relationship with Onishenko, he became involved in a physical altercation with the model's boyfriend. At the time, Mykola had a friend who liked Snejana and was stalking her, which caused serious issues.
И Коля когда-то побил Славика. То есть вся компания меня донимала. Люди хотели со мной общаться и не понимали, что у меня есть мужчина. Я объясняю, что мне ничего не надо мне заказывать шампанское.
At the time, everyone was talking about her new car, and she thought Mykola had called her because of interest in the vehicle. But as it turned out, he was interested in her, not the car. They began a romantic conversation after he saw her in the restaurant and called her directly from there. That evening, he drove her home and stayed overnight and, as she says, never really left. They continued living together, and after a year of the relationship, they got married in 2018. Snejana's wedding dress was by Zaravan. Today, Snejana recalls that Mykola was very affectionate and even made her sandwiches. She calls their time living together before marriage the happiest period of their relationship. But on their very first wedding night, he already showed his true character. Within a month after the wedding, he began beating her. She often didn't even understand why. Later, they held a second wedding ceremony in the Seychelles. But even there, they constantly fought, according to Snejana. He would beat her, then fall to his knees and apologize, and she would forgive him. There were times when after beatings, she needed 3 days just to recover. She was not his only victim. He beat all of his partners and even his parents. After such abuse, Snejana wanted a divorce, but he did not allow it, saying that he would only ever become a widower, never divorced. Due to constant stress, anxiety, and living like she was sitting on a powder keg, Snejana began losing her presence, the spark in her eyes, and even her professional connections in the modeling industry. Because of missed shows and misunderstandings, she was invited less and less. She would literally fall asleep during runway shows and photo shoots, unable to recover physically or mentally. She hoped that choosing life in Ukraine was her conscious decision, that glamour was no longer her priority. I only talk about icons and iconic things on this channel. If that's what you want more of, you already know what to do. In 2018, Snejana spent New Year's Eve alone while Mykola was beating a police officer inside a police station, defending his lover, Anna Pinchuk. The entire country saw this story in the news. Snejana herself learned about it from television while she was at the Carpathian Sanatorium, where she had gone for health recovery. Later, Mykola supposedly traveled to Budapest and sent Snejana photos from a dinner table with unusual alcohol. Minutes later, she received photos from Anna Pinchuk of the exact same table. It became clear they were together in Budapest. Snejana told him she understood everything. He flew home the very next day and she demanded a divorce. When her mother arrived to help her pack her belongings, Mykola attacked her, kicking her mother, breaking her ribs, and causing a concussion. To make him release her mother and allow her to go to the hospital, Snejana threatened that she would cut her own veins. Only then did Mykola let her mother go on the condition that Snejana stayed behind. From that evening on, she stayed behind, while her mother was taken to the hospital. The abuse continued. In 2019, Snejana denied in interviews that she intended to divorce, saying that family is hard work. One day, he came home drunk and aggressive and beat her again. After that, she said in an interview that the topic was closed for her. She packed some of her belongings into a small Louis Vuitton bag, took one of her dogs, and left him. He constantly called her, crying and begging her to return, promising he would change. But she never came back. Later, Schur went to prison for fraud, and when he was released, the divorce was finalized. 4 years after her dramatic divorce, Snejana got married again. She hasn't shared any information about her husband. In July, she posted that she has been officially married for over a month and has never been this happy before. She calls her husband the best in the world. Many people have noticed that Snejana looks very thin today, even sickly. I hope she finds healing. When she gave interviews during her divorce, she also appeared extremely slender. But a year after that divorce, in October 2021, she looked more lively and cheerful in interviews, which isn't surprising, given that the abusive relationship was over. What worries me, though, is the romanticization of her quote about fasting. People take it out of context and spread it as if it were some ultimate model body recipe. That is extremely harmful and dangerous advice. I hope this trend, if it's just a trend, doesn't turn into a serious guide for young girls. But for Snejana, at least, it's a perfect way to go viral again. Her Instagram now has over 16 million followers. She posts about her travels, expensive cars, and personal photos, both old modeling shots and new ones. Quite often, she poses with a cigarette. She posts quotes, pictures inspired by Thomas Shelby, and sometimes even sings along to Russian hits. If you made it to the end, you already know what this channel is about. I don't talk about everything. I talk about icons and truly iconic stories. If you want more deep dives like this, stories that go beyond the image and into the reality behind it, welcome to ICONELLE. I uncover what makes fashion as a cultural movement iconic. If you love this video, make sure to subscribe and see you in the next one.